Hello all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Brig coming at you fast with some more Destiny Year 2 gameplay. That is right, I'm gonna stop saying Year 2 soon, but today it is the day of release of all the cool, sexy things. So we are gonna go ahead and talk about the weapon changes that have showed up in this new update, in this new patch, in this crazy, sexy-licious update to Rizzo, and we're going to start off with the auto rifles, which you're going to be seeing right here. So before we actually start talking about the commentary, we're going to look at the gameplay. So this is the game mode Rift. This is like a capture the flag game mode. You're going to see me play some sexy OBJ in it, and it is on one of the new maps, Memento, that you will get with a Taken King. But for this week and this week only, it is free and open for everybody, even if you don't have the DLC. So definitely get your hands on it and play it a little bit if you don't plan on getting the DLC. But if you are, then you guys are going to love it. Because the reason I'm using this auto rifle is because they've been buffed. The auto rifles have been buffed in a certain amount of ways. As in, the base damage increased across all archetypes. So, what does that mean? I'm going to be reading these notes right here. I'm reading these patch notes right here for you guys. So, the base damage is increased. Pretty much, auto rifles are just stronger now. Thank God. They were pretty much useless. The damage fall off is now closer to the player to emphasize its role as a close range weapon. This is true, okay? It's not supposed to be long range like a flippin', scout rifle. You don't need that kind of stuff. Base stability reduced slightly, which makes hitting precision shots require more weapon control. You gotta have better aim with it. So you can't really, get those long shots with it anymore. It's pretty difficult. And then the damage done against AI combatants, so when you're playing PvE, is increased by 30%, and it is noticeable. I have tested this out. I've used the Necrochasm, actually, and there's a reason why I used it, because it did get buffed. I was using the Necrochasm, and you can actually tell the difference. So auto rifles have been buffed. Those are all the changes to auto rifles. Next up, we got pulse rifles. So, all low recoil pulse rifles now use a medium rate of fire base stats. What that means, so if you have like a slow rate of fire pulse rifle, it now shoots faster, pretty much. So now the medium pulse rifle's rate of fire has been slightly increased, but with base damage reduced slightly. So basically the fire rate on all pulse rifles has been increased, but the ones that are already kind of fast got their damage reduced even more to compensate for that. Now, PvP burst to kills, all precision hits is 2 or 3 depending on victim's armor stats. So, if you have a maxed out Red Death going up against somebody in Crucible, it's still going to be a 2 burst kill if all of them are precisions. Shots, of course, which is pretty awesome. The mag size is increased overall on every kind of pulse rifle, which is fantastic. Again, the base stability is reduced slightly, so again, same thing with the auto rifles. You're going to need a bit more control to land those precisions, and then damage against AIs is increased by 25%, which is really good because pulse rifles really didn't do that much either when it came to PvE. They were usually only for PvP and only a select few, as a matter of fact. So now hand cannons. Actually, no, let's do scout rifles first. Sorry, but hand cannons are pretty massive as well. Scout rifles. The base damage increased slightly for medium to high rate of fire scout rifles. Small adjustment does not change shots per kill in PvP against enemies with full health. So basically what this means is that the damage for all those fast shooting scout rifles, not the slow shooting, has been increased a bit. So that means, Vision of Confluence, Luna, Deadshot Luna for the Dead Orbit one, and all those kinds got their damage increased a little bit, but the slow shooting ones are still kind of the same. So make sure that you start using those faster shooting ones now, because they do have a damage increase to them. The mag size is increased on all base stats, which is pretty awesome. Accuracy when firing from the hip is reduced. That does make sense, considering that scout rifles should be longer range weapons. They shouldn't be that good in close situations, so that's pretty good as well. And the damage done against AI is increased by 5%. Not too much, not crazy, but still beneficial. Which is good because I do use scout rifles occasionally. I use the Vision of Confluence occasionally when playing PvE. Now, hand cannons, the ones that people were like, oh no, damage, they've been nerfed like crazy, by the way. Damage fall off distance has been reduced to be closer, so that makes sense. Their hand cannons are supposed to be close range, so now it has a bigger, range fall off. accuracy while aiming down sights reduced slightly, making long-range snap shooting less reliable. This is also a good thing because, again, hand cannons need to be closer range. They can't be as long range as scout rifles. Mag size reduced on all base stat settings. I checked this earlier, and a Fatebringer with Field Scout on it only has 10 bullets instead of 13 bullets like it used to have. The base optics, or the zoom, it was reduced, so aiming down sights grants more width in favor of depth, which means that you're not going to be as zoomed in anymore when you aim down your sights. So again, more close range adaptations. Next, we got shotguns. The shotgun precision damage scaler grants 10% bonus damage. It used to be 25%, so now precision shots with shotguns aren't as strong as they used to be. The shot package perk reduces the cone spread by 20%, which used to be 50%, so that got nerfed as well. Or actually, it got buffed because it reduces the cone spread. No, actually, no, it got nerfed. I was right the first time. It got nerfed. So before, it used to cut the cone spread in half. Now it only cuts it by a fifth. The rangefinder perks adds a 10% base range increase on zoom, and it used to be 20, so that was nerfed by half as well. And damage done against AI combatants is reduced by 45%. So basically, shotguns now do twice as less damage against AI than they used to. This is massive because I used to use shotguns like the Fourth Horseman to absolutely plow through Fallen Captains, Reaver Captains, and shit like that. This is ridiculous. This is a crazy nerf on shotguns. I don't know why they really did this. Maybe they thought that it was too easy with shotguns, but in my opinion, I don't think it is. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't agree with this one because I love my shoddy Bugattis, but I guess Bungie saw it in a different light. Anyway, now the sniper rifles. Moving along, the sniper rifles are pretty interesting as well. So with the sniper rifles, we got ourselves the final round perk now buffs precision damage, not base damage. This is really, really good because what used to happen was people would get sniper rifles that had this last round buff, and what they would do is they would shoot their snipers up until they had that one last round left, and then they would just get a one-shot body shot, which was absolutely BS in PvP. Now they changed it to only affect precision, so you still have to get a headshot, nonetheless. Now, fusion rifles. Fusion rifles no longer get more accurate with each projectile fired. Fusion rifles that are slow charging and have high impact now have a slightly lower base range value, so you have to get closer with them. The accuracy increased for low range fusion rifles, that's pretty useful. And the max fusion rifle projectile speed is decreased slightly. That one doesn't really matter too much. The damage done against AI, however, is increased by 15%, which is another buff. That's pretty good. Now, the sidearms got a few buffs. The base reload speed is increased. The ammo stats for sidearms have been reduced to match other scenarios, but still retain starting bonus ammo. The rocket launchers. The blast radius distance slightly increased, which is pretty good. Grenades and horseshoes perk, proximity detonation distance reduced to 1.3 meters instead of 2 meters, so it doesn't explode from a mile away anymore. They did reduce that as well. And then finally, machine guns. They fixed an issue with all dead orbit machine guns where something wasn't animated, which isn't that real important. And then the damage done against AI has been increased by 5% as well. This is a slight bonus. And then there's been some specific buffs and nerfs for certain exotic weapons that I'm not going to go into because we just don't have that much time. And they did change a lot of the abilities as well to increase the bonuses and also increase the amount of negligible effects that happen when you gain range but you lose damage. Those have been all increased as well. But that's about it, guys. If you want to read up on this, you guys can go to the Bungie's website. But that's it for me. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day. And I top fragged and I did not get shit. God damn it, Bungie, what the fuck?